I'm the youngest, so I'm hoping that at least by number 5, my mom was, getting off too.
There was something good.
I would like to think I was conceived by mutual orgasms. That would be nice.
When we all.
Yeah, when
I
we
think in
all.
my case it's extremely improbable. I'm, just being honest. Like I think it's very unlikely. For the record, my dad is he's now retired, but he actually just got back into taking a church, but he's a Methodist minister. Yeah.
So does that preclude orgasms for women?
No, but it kind of includes a kind of idea that sex is kind of for reproduction and that pleasure is not really the reason that we do it, and it's just really to be fruitful and multiply and make God's children. This is an interesting question because it actually touches on some really important stuff, because like a lot of people everybody almost is going to have like one of their models for how they have relationships with people. It's going to be their parents, one of the earliest ones. And for my parents, no, I mean, I never saw anything that I would even remotely consider like romance or like I mean, can you tell me, like, I'm curious to know like what your experience was like with your parents and what their relationship was like, your perception of it anyway.
Well, the conversation actually jogged a possibly traumatic memory. No, it wasn't traumatic, but going back to the question about like whether or not my mom had an orgasm when she conceived me. But I do remember that I was snooping in my mom's dresser drawer and I found a copy of The Joy of Sex. And I mean, I was like 8 years old, and it was like there were no photos. It was all just hand-drawn illustrations. But it's like, I guess it was slightly traumatic because when I thought of it, I hadn't thought of this memory in years, but like I could still recall that book so vividly in my mind, and I don't remember that it was even like creased open or anything. So I'm not really sure what happened there.
They at least had an interest in mutual pleasure enough to buy a book.
And something else I didn't think of until just now was that it was buried underneath her sexy lingerie, so I guess there was...
Maybe she was hopeful.
My mom was an optimist. Yes.
Well, that's cool that was even in your household, because nothing like that would have ever, like, even entered into the world of, I can't imagine, like, the idea that I would find, like, something like that in my dad's house is, like, inconceivable to me. So, I mean, like, that's the thing, is, like, you have these role models and you can set yourself in saying, I want to be like that and emulate it because it seemed really good, or you can set yourself in saying, I want to oppose that, and that's me, like, probably is, like, I'm, like, looking at that and I'm like, I want to be nothing like that.
I would just say, as somebody who, I'll probably end up getting married someday and probably end up having kids, but I can totally relate to where you're coming from about, I don't really want anything like my parents' marriage at all. And I think that's really common, whichever group you're in, whether you want kids or not, that sort of thing. It's that it's a totally new world, and you got to figure it out for yourself.
Yeah, I mean that's my entire point, and to a certain extent is that we are in that world and it's exciting that we're in that world because we can figure things out, we can do stuff, and we can have the experiences that we want to have. But at the same time, it does require a level of like searching and like trying to understand yourself, and then relating that to another person and communicating it, which is not. These are not skills that I was raised with in how to do these things. That's part of my struggle in life, right? Is in this realm of life anyway, is trying to be able to overcome the fact that I don't know how to do these things because I never saw any examples of them happening, or I wasn't around them, and like it wasn't a part of my life. And then I'm like, what do you don't have to say anything, but I'm like.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I grew up in a really strict religious household, so yeah.
You as well, then.
Yeah, and actually, this was part of a larger conversation. My mom kind of cornered me in the living room and wanted to know like more about me and like what was going on and stuff like that, because I was an adolescent and I was really unhappy and cranky. And I remember she asked me, "Tell me, Sam, are you afraid of your own sexuality?" And then I just jumped up off of the couch and I was like, "Mom!" And I ran out of the room screaming and I hid in my room. So I guess, and the funny thing is she took that as like a no.
Makes sense to me. Essentially, my dad tried to have my mom never did, but my dad tried to have a sex talk with me when I was like 16 or 17 or something like that, and I'm like, and then it was like, sometimes, a man and woman love each other and he puts the penis in the vagina, and that was it. That was like the sex talk. Like, you put a penis in a vagina. Okay, thanks, Dad. I knew that, but, I appreciate, you have Cinemax. I don't know if you understand, like, no.